Welcome to the Hobart Commuter. We're going to do something a little bit different this evening. I'm not going to talk about cycling in any shape or form because it's approaching the winter solstice. And here in Hobart that means one thing. It's the MOFO, the Dark MOFO Festival. That stands for the Mona FOMA Festival. Museum of Old and New Art and Festival of Music and Art, Mona FOMA. I'll talk a little bit about the museum in a moment. Just want to take you through one of the exhibitions, just to have a look at the, I think it's down this way. So there it is there, that's the, it's an old merchant house, built in the 1830s, and inside is a death mask exhibition. When the convicts, I better get out of here because the guy's giving me a funny look. Anyway, I'll stick around. When the convicts were due to be killed, due to be executed, the convicts that came out here in Tasmania in the 19th century, when they were due to be killed, after they were executed, they took masks of them, probably not plaster of Paris, but whatever the equivalent was in those olden days, for the purposes of a kind of a pseudoscience called phrenology, which is designed to measure the cranium or skull and have a look at the shape of that in the belief that it could reveal characteristics of personality and proclivities to criminality. So obviously there's a lot of inherent racism in that sort of thing, that the shape of your skull or the colour of your skin it sort of predetermines certain characteristics of your personality. But yeah, very interesting. So they'll have an exhibition of death masks in Narena. So that's one example. So Mona in general is basically, it's been described as, it's a big museum. It's about, I don't know how many, it's just a little bit outside Hobart in Berrydale. That's where the museum is. And it's basically been described as a subversive adult playground. So the curator, or the guy who privately funded it, is a guy named David Walsh. And we're just going to go down to the wharf now to see the whole thing. Like, there's a winter feast and a dark park, and I'll talk about those as we get there. I haven't seen them yet, so I don't know what the crowds are going to be like. I don't really want to ride through thick crowds. I don't think that's fair on the pedestrians, so we'll see what I can do. Anyway, David Walsh was... Go ahead, mate, go ahead. No, okay. Yep, okay, great. It's wonderful. So David Walsh was a bit of a mathematics genius. He grew up here in Tasmania, and he basically devised a systematic scheme for gambling, a program for gambling. People say they've got systems for gambling, they're only talking out of their bottoms, but David Walsh actually had a system for gambling, and he's made an absolute fortune. And the fortune that he's made, a large part of that, I assume, he's put back into this privately funded museum, which is world class. People come from all over the world to see it. Now you can sort of start to see now the flames. Now this is the feast up here that we'll check out. Yeah, so the interesting thing I found about it actually was, it's called Mona FOMA, and the thing that interests me, because literature just interests me, is there's a wonderful Kurt Vonnegut book called The Cat's Cradle. I think it was his fourth book. And in that book, a bit hard to describe the plot, it's pretty surreal kind of plot. See, there it is. I'll see if I can get a look at that. They've got fairly high banisters up there. In that book, there's the island dictator's daughter is called Mona, and there's these. Can't quite remember the context. I'll just give you guys a look at that there. So I'm going to try and go to this tomorrow night. And you can hear the siren song as well. There's a siren song that plays at dusk and dawn. Huge speakers blasting out these kind of orchestral female voices that are designed to draw you to the festival. In previous years, it's been a huge beam of light. It's been pretty spectacular. See, I was talking about FOMA. So FOMA was the harmless untruths that they spoke, I think, on this little island community, which I think Vonnegut suggested that these harmless untruths weren't harmless at all. They actually became believed to be truths in themselves later on. Sort of a commentary on our false news and that sort of stuff at the moment. And you can hear some of the music now. So the whole look and feel of Mona from Mona FOMA Dark Mofo Festival is this pink lighting. It's pink and red. Thank you. All right, here we go. So there it is in front of you. There's the entrance to the park. It's just basically gourmet, beautiful food. And the themes of Mona, general themes of Mona are sex and death. My mum said going into the Mona Museum was like stepping into David Walsh's Twisted Mind, which may or may not be true. I'd probably add decay to the to that list of sex and death. Well, that's the first time I used my bell. So I talked about Narina House before. Things get lit up, so you can see there's the Grand Chancellor Hotel. I can't tell you what that building is. Is it the Maritime Museum? No. It could be City Hall there on the right. I'll just go past that.
Okay, so we're
Just got to be a little bit careful here.
Yeah, is it raining there?
Yeah, that's City Hall there on the left. So they light up in the Mona colours there. Beautiful old colonial architecture here too in Hobart. But such wonderful character. And there's just the lovely wharf on the side. Okay, so where I'm going to take you guys is to Dark Park. Thanks, mate. So Dark Park is a sort of interactive park. I went last year and it was pretty wonderful. They had like a hall of mirrors and a maze. So sort of adult themed things, but still a lot for the kids as well. So there's, they light up the interior there of the Hotel Grand Chancellor, which is sort of the premier hotel in Hobart. I'm sure that there'll be plenty of people who contend that assertion, but nevertheless. Okay, I think I might come along here. We'll see what else we can see. You can see there's a cruise ship in dock at the moment. So at the end of this corridor here. A lovely, lovely time in Hobart. It's a beautiful evening as well. So I'll just give you a look back there and just give you another look. I'll take you here again sometime. This is my favourite spot in Hobart. Like when they do backdrops for our national network, ABC, and they beam someone in, they always have this as the backdrop. Got the mountain in the back there, and then that's a famous fish restaurant there. And then over there is where all the boats come in for this famous City to Hobart race. I can't get enough of that. It's such a beautiful, iconic image of Hobart. Anyway, let's move on. So there's a cruise ship up ahead. Yeah, so I was talking about David Walsh, a very interesting character. Absolutely beloved by Tasmanians for what he's done for this economy. Tourism is such a huge industry for Tasmania, and for him to build this world-class museum here in Hobart has actually transformed the city, no question about it. It's called the Mona effect. People are writing PhDs on it. That's not a joke. I'll just see if I can get through here, whether this applies to me. I go through here?
Yeah, you're all right, mate.
Thanks, mate. All right, and then we've got Dark Park here on the right. So a lot of sort of artesian beer stalls. It's just kicking off. They'll normally have flames and stuff up there. And so they'll have various installations and so on and so forth. Doesn't look too impressive actually. It's really good by night. Let's watch these kids. Yeah, so I just finished on, just while we're moving through here, just wondering in the safest place. Oh, there it is. There's Dark Park. So it's going to fire up there, I'm sure, a little bit later. So I just want to finish on a small point while we have a last look at the Grand Chancellor there is one installation that's kind of overshadowed this year's Mona FOMA Festival, and that's by an Austrian artist. It's called 150 Action, And basically, I'm just trying to pick a line here that doesn't upset people. They're going to get a bull, and it'll be killed in an abattoir and then transferred to the place of the artistic practice. And it's going to be kind of cut up, and then a whole bunch of people are going to kind of lounge around in its viscera and play around in its blood and stuff. I'm probably being very ignorant of the actual performance. I struggle with modern art to understand exactly what it is. But it's been very contentious. And yeah, people have just really responded quite negatively to it. And fair play, I think it's good in the sense that it raises a question about why we eat animals and how we respect animals. So just to close on that, the Mona Festival is absolutely wonderful for Hobart. And even if they caught a little bit of controversy with this animal performance and other things, I think that's still a good thing. I think in the sense of this art opening up this conversation about issues that we suppress and we don't like to talk about. I think David Walsh is a great proponent of that, and truly it's wonderful to have him here in Tasmania. All right, that'll do. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. Until next time, I'll see you next time.